At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Check three. Begin.
On second down now, Richard. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. This complete to Jones. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
They go play action. Cousins. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Zebra. Go. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Watch the pass. Mike, 55. Check.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tahir Whitehead. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He'll buy some time. The pressure gets to him again. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. And no move to pull Carr and the offense off. They're going to go on 4th down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Clelin Ferrell. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Cook running right. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, who is this guy? He's special. And he said, dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field.
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Cousins now. Got an open man. It's Foster. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Black. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
Throwing, Cousins. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Shotgun now for Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 2nd year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Yeah. Can he put it aside? Let's find out. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 32 on the play. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Carr now on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Hey, watch this, watch this. Check 13. Check the low. Check the backer. That's it.
Caught by Jones. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Rush in.
Again, it's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. Sacks a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
55, Mike 55. Ready? Wide. Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Hey, orbit. Mike 55. Mike 55.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give running right. It's Cook. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Five. 55.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He'll let it go deep for Foster. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. The second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. Open man, here's Foster. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
I got it. Hey, receiver. Watch number 33. 3-3. Hey, Alpha.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And he will find his man on the outside. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Max Crosby in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
So don't say nothing. Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache. Mike 55, Mike 55. Here we go, D.
Now Cousins. Looking here for Smith downfield. This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitch...
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Cousins. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 17-yard
Let's get
line.
it. Check the hot read. Two.
Hey, Steve 6. Gun.
Mike 55. Mike 55.
To throw is Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And all the way down to the 29. A big play that time for the Raiders. 51 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Carr to the throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
7:34. Mike 22's coming. 22's coming. Mike Smith.
Now Carr. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Darren Waller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And an alley to run. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 33.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
55 is mine, guys. 55.
A first down throw for Cousins. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Maurice Hurst. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
No. Off. Yellow. Bravo. We're going 25 to the mic. And let's get this. Hey, 25 to the mic. We're going 25 to the mic. Hey, can.
3rd and long for Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Let's go! At their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll run with Cook. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Well, this shot downfield on second down is brought in, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will get him one closer. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They start the drive with Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Max Crosby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 49. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Check 50, check 50. 300.
Throwing here, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Bailey got the extra point on the NFL scoreboard there in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. A win would be their second on the young season.
The Raiders take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On second down, it's Jacobs, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Once again, it's Jacobs, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll hit the road.